Who are the Baxter Society? Welcome to another snippet of Deadlock's already vast lore. The Baxter Society is the international monster hunting organization in Deadlock. The Baxter Society works to keep all of the swarming supernatural forces at bay, especially if these monsters pose a huge threat to humanity. Currently, there are 3 heroes within the roster that are affiliated with the Baxter Society, the first of them being the founder, Grey Talon. Wesley Grey Talon is a stoic man wielding a bow with good aim and his spirit owl. He's made a legacy of roughly 40 years hunting creatures that preyed on mankind, and decided it was time to finally retire. Retiring meant finally giving time to his wife, his son and his wife, and his grandchildren, but that didn't last long. You see, initially framed as a freak accident, his family was trapped and burned within their own home, and they didn't make it. Currently, Grey Talon is on the hunt again, this time not for monsters, but for revenge, as it was apparent to him that this was a premeditated attack. Grey Talon has his hunches on who may have done this, but his current theory is that a very xenophobic organization known as the Friends of Humanity are the ones behind this, possibly due to his daughter-in-law and grandchildren being Ixion, the demon-like folks in Deadlock. The second member of the Baxter Society is actually Grey Talon's protege, a reformed criminal known as Shiv. Other than for his very Elvis-like pompadour, Shiv comes off as very unpolished, as other unnotable members of the society are a bit off-put by him. But Shiv is a talented hunter and very loyal to the Baxter Society. Grey Talon has put a fair amount of trust in Shiv's capabilities, and with time is expected to exceed the rest of the society's expectations. Shiv's background is not exactly as fleshed out as other characters, but there is a very interesting aspect of him that's been alluded to. In relation to his rage passive, it's implied that Shiv kind of harbors a beast within himself that doesn't really want to surface. A beast that the patrons themselves would purge for Shiv if he got his wish. Maybe the worry is that Shiv himself would eventually become a target of the Baxter Society, and that would complicate his relationship entirely. And finally, the third hero is Calico. Calico is actually a former member of the Baxter Society because hunting monsters just doesn't bring in as much money as being a hitman does, apparently. Calico, with her cat Ava, has been a mercenary in the shadows and been called a very dangerous woman by many. In fact, Calico was actually hired by Maximilian Fairfax to assassinate his eldest heir to the company, Aaron Fairfax, otherwise known as another character in our roster, Pocket. But obviously, she wasn't able to finish the job as Pocket is somehow alive. As of right now, Calico's reason for participating in a ritual hasn't been revealed just yet, but I'm hoping we can expect some answers soon in the next major update maybe. The Society has hunted various paranormal entities throughout the world, but they do have some high priority targets that they're keeping an eye on, such as the infamous serial killer known as the Troubadour, and the ancient spirit attached to Lady Geiss's arm known as Oathkeeper. Oh, also, every member so far has lost their right arm and replaced it with a prosthetic arm. 3 is kind of a lot for just a coincidence, right? So maybe the Society has an initiation requirement. Anyways, I'm really excited for the devs to really swing back to the Baxter Society and give us much more Monster Hunter stories, because they've set up a world with so many different supernatural creatures. Like almost everything in Deadlock, since it is in alpha, all of this is subject to change, but that's what we have so far. What do you guys think of the Baxter Society?